differences?
I wouldn't say considerably, no. I mean, I've gotten stronger a little bit in the weight room, but I need to definitely get more chemistry and stuff through the rest of camp with Matt, our snapper, and Joe, who's going to hold this year. So I definitely need to get more and more on pace with them. And right now I'm more worried about the accuracy and making sure I'm hitting straight balls rather than like distance. But
How long does it take to get the new chemistry down with a new snapper, and how has that gone so far?
right. Yeah, it's been good. So Matt got here over the summer, and he's with us now, which is really good. But I'd say it takes a couple hundred reps just to kind of make sure you're kind of on the same page and all. And we've definitely been doing that since like June, July, and now into August. I'm really looking forward to spending a lot of time together in camp because that's one of the biggest things too for camp is not only like practicing on the field, but having to be in the ops building for 10 hours a day. You really get to kind of like bond with the guys. So that's a big thing for me. Is like Ben Asbury is one of my best friends, and Danny was a really good friend of mine. So like having that chemistry on and off the field is big. So I'm looking forward to it with them.
Speaking of good friends, I know obviously Jake is one of your better friends on the team. What do you think about him going into his senior year and where his head's at right now?
Yeah, I think Jake and I have similar goals, just to win. I know Jake's a great quarterback because I know like I'm just a kicker, but I'm a football guy. I like to watch football and all. And I know Jake's got a great arm, and I'm looking forward to him to having a really big season.
The Gamecock alum, the kicker, the name slips my mind. Alumni. You've worked with him in the past? Suck up. Yeah. Are you still working with him? Or have you worked? With him?
Yeah. Working with Ron. I know he's a busy NFL guy, and it's tough to get up to Nashville and to kind of meet him or whatever. But for me, it's like a once a year, usually once maybe twice a year type thing where I meet up with him and kick. I went up there in like June, I believe it was. My uncle and I drove up there and kicked with Ryan for about an hour and a half or so. He showed me some things, and we kind of analyzed some video together, and we worked on a few different like kind of small things, but they add up. So
is he working with you on technique, leg placement? I mean, what kind of specific things is he working with you on?
So he's trying to kind of get my plant foot kind of squared away. Like sometimes I have a bad habit of planting like too shallow, where I need to have it further downfield, if that makes any sense. But it's like a matter of inches. Like it's a super small thing, but plant foot downfield is going to allow me to be more consistent. And then head down was one of his big things he was telling me to. So that's what I've kind of took from him. And working on those two things are big.
Will was talking over there about how he has no hesitation putting you out there for game-winning field goals. What is it about your personality that you thrive in the pressure situations? And take me through that moment when you're getting on the field to kick a game-winning field goal.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the biggest things about a pressure kick is I kind of reiterate it to myself in my head that it's just like any other kick, like whether it's a 35-yarder against Missouri in the fourth quarter down 2 or a 35-yarder like in the first drive of the opening game to make it 3-0, like it's the same kick. Like it doesn't really matter what the situation is. At the end of the day, like I'm just hitting the ball, and it's like whether it's like in the ops building or in the indoor kicking or on the field, it doesn't really matter. And I think I kind of make myself believe that and stuff, so it kind of allows me to be ready for like a quote unquote pressure kick or whatever.
When did you learn to have that mindset as far as your transition from maybe thinking about, oh my gosh, this is a game-winning kick, to it's just another kick?
Yeah, I'd say somewhere along my freshman year, maybe toward the end of the season when I started. That was when I started to improve a lot more. Was like second half of my freshman season, and then like the spring of that year is so like I'm a big Falcons fan, and Matt Bryant, who is like the kicker for the Falcons forever. It seems like. I kind of watched him very closely. I went to a lot of Falcons games and watched him on TV, and his personality always seemed so like monotone, and he was always consistent. Like whether he made a kick, it was kind of like the same face, or if he missed a kick, it was kind of like but he never got like, it wasn't the highest highs and the lowest lows. I just kind of want to stay in the middle and allow myself to kind of be consistent.